This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
I was hoping this day would never come.
Well, it has finally come, Andre. It's time to say goodbye to the little green Ford Maverick.
Yeah, we're selling it.
Yeah, that's right, because we have another vehicle on its way.
Well, that's what it's about, right? We want to buy vehicles, we want to test them, do everything possible with them, but I've kind of fallen in love with this guy.
Yeah, it's a super cool little truck, and as much as we'd love to keep this in the long run, the fact of the matter is that once the interest starts to die off, we can't just keep holding on to them because we've got a business to run, so the little Maverick's gonna be sold today.
Exactly. So how about we go over like what has happened over the last 9 months of our ownership with this truck? Because a lot of good things happened.
And then at the end of this video, I'll tell you how much we've sold this truck for.
And also where you can buy it, right?
That's exactly right, Andre.
Exactly. Number 5 on my list of favorite things with this truck is the fact for 2025 Ford combined the efficient powertrain with all-wheel drive. And this is an XLT, brand new Maverick 2025 model. How about we show it working in the snow?
It does feel very front-wheel drive base bias still. It feels more that it's kind of clawing, you know, from the front and pushing from the rear, which is more or less to be expected from these more front-wheel drive based all-wheel drive systems, but it's doing pretty darn good. I find that the throttle response is very muted when you put it into the slippery mode, and the traction control is very willing to intervene.
Well, he's having so much fun.
My number 4 like around this Maverick is interior volume and especially comfort. So this is a small truck. This is just a compact little guy. Having said that, the interior is very roomy and extremely comfortable. So even at 6 feet tall, I feel like I have plenty of space, plenty of shoulder space. And Andre, what about behind me? Can you fit in there, or is it a little bit tight?
Yeah, let me try sitting behind you. I'm almost 6'3", and the cutout here, let me show you. The cutout here is just right. My knees fit and my head fits. Dude, this is a pretty spacious interior.
Especially when you consider some mid-sized trucks have a smaller interior volume than this Maverick. It's very, very good.
Number 3 on the list is better towing capability with this new Maverick. So before, the Hybrid was only available as a front-wheel drive model that could tow 2,000 pounds. But according to Ford, they updated the continuously variable transmission, which is a planetary gear set, and now it tows up to 4,000 pounds. And Case and I have taken it on the iGauntlet, also Denver 100 loops with a trailer. Let me show you a little bit of that now.
And this is where things are going to get interesting, because this is quite the climb we've got coming up.
All right, are you ready? I'm gonna be at 35. I'm gonna reset at the sign now.
All right, clock is started. It does not sound good, Andre.
So that's the CVT.
Tell me when you hit 65.
It's 50. Yeah, we're gonna measure 35 miles per hour to 60.
60.
There.
That was about 17 seconds.
Wow, that's probably not the best result we've ever had.
No. Look, this powertrain is really efficient, especially when you're driving around day to day, unladen, and especially around the city.
So 14.3 mpg, registered right here. Let's see how close we are in the real world. We do have a little bit more than a third of tank left, so I was kind of maybe overreacting a little bit when I said we couldn't make it, but...
Yeah, but we did run it down quite a bit.
We did. 111 is really the GPS distance of this loop. Divide by, what is it, 8.05? Yeah. Equals 13.8. So actually, that was not far off. Many midsize pickup trucks don't have integrated brake controllers, but this Maverick does. It's a part of that 4K towing package, and it also has a lot of payload. This version of it has 1,367 pounds of it, which is more than many mid-size trucks.
Just so easy and convenient to drive.
Dude, I agree. And also it's very easy to get into.
Yeah.
Right?
Great point.
It's at the right height, and it's so small. Look at this. We could zip around any parking lot with ease.
Now, it may seem silly to start this in a parking lot, but the truth of the matter is, I mean, you can squeeze into small spots that even a mid-sized truck might struggle with.
Yeah.
You've got this great big window, and then when you combine that with the fact that you can get well over 450 miles on a tank,
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, that fun zippiness just keeps going and going and going.
It's true.
Yeah, this is a really easy and also a pretty comfortable machine to drive around in.
And no matter which car or truck you have, if you plan on keeping it for a longer period of time, you should check out GrangerWarranty.com. Use the link in the description below. Granger Warranty is one of the best sellers of factory-backed extended warranties across the country, and you could save some money while doing it, about $1,000 on average. And you don't have to buy it immediately when you buy a brand new vehicle. You could wait a little bit and then get that warranty. And when your truck needs service, you can be sure that they're using certified components, OEM quality stuff, and the work is done at a certified facility or a dealership anywhere across the country.
Number one on our list has to be efficiency, right?
That's right, Andre, because even though this hybrid has gained all-wheel drive, it still is incredible what you can do with this truck cruising around every day.
Exactly. Our colleague Mary actually daily drove it for almost, 400 miles? And she got amazing results, mostly, with mixed driving, city, and a little bit of highway. Well, we could show that clip right now.
Tuesday down, Tuesday back, Wednesday down. I think I drove to the ranch on Wednesday, so wasn't quite a full drive on Wednesday. Full drive down Thursday, full drive back up Thursday, and now full drive down Friday, and soon to be full drive up Friday. So that's incredible that it's gone that many miles and still only half a tank. Okay, so we traveled 385.9 miles with an MPG of 46.2.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Now, Mary loves this little green Maverick, and I know she's really upset that we're selling it.
Yeah.
It's probably her favorite car that she's ever driven. And when you combine that with the fact that you can get over 40 MPG if you drive this thing nicely, it's very good. It doesn't do as well towing though, right?
Exactly. Towing MPG, of course, it will struggle with efficiency like any vehicle would. And also in the winter, Case and I noticed when we first purchased it, in the winter you will see lower efficiency because of, just the temperatures.
Hey, check this out. And the trip meter is saying 40.2 mpg.
I used 2.656 gallons, almost $10. Fuel is fairly expensive here. Let's go calculate.
Okay, so 111 mile loop, our standard, divided by 2.656 equals what?
Now listen, not every truck can be perfect over 8,200 miles. This thing has been awesome, but here are some things that I don't like about this Maverick. Number 5 is the off-road capability. Now obviously, this thing is not designed to be an off-roader by any stretch of the imagination. However, there is an off-road version of the Maverick called the Tremor, and that's awesome. However, you can't get the Tremor with the hybrid system. That would be the perfect combination. So it's a little bit frustrating how Ford locks you out from that version.
So I really just have slippery mode and traction control disabled. This could be quite bad because it's a little bit muddy. It's a little bit muddy, and even though the system is trying, it's not easy.
This is a hybrid, and you would think it'll have a lot of export power. Maybe you could power some tools, some cooking utensils, but this hybrid is only available with 400 watts, which is okay for a lot of things. But for example, the Tacoma hybrid has up to 2,400 watts of export power, and an F-150 hybrid has upwards of 7,200 watt output. So I want to see this number higher in the Maverick.
The technology on the Maverick is really pretty good. You got this big screen here in this landscape mode, and it's very crystal clear and pretty easy to use. However, there is one thing I just can't get over with the screen, and that's the fact that for the 2025 update, they moved all the climate controls into the screen itself, which is just a little bit annoying. Now, you do have this weird kind of touch-sensitive panel down here, which is where I would love to see physical knobs and dials, but I just don't like all the climate controls on the screen. It's just another reason to take my eyes off the road.
So while it is a pretty small vehicle, easy to drive in general, and also the suspension is pretty comfy.
Yep.
It has a negative, Tommy.
What's that, Andre?
Let me show you. Accelerating, and accelerating, and accelerating.
Yeah, so
it's droney.
It is droney. It's not super slow, like it's plenty adequate for most people.
Yeah.
But that drone, especially when you're towing a small trailer, gets pretty annoying. Now, it's worth noting that this is an eCVT, and what that means is it's not a conventional belt and cone.
No.
Like so many of the CVTs that used to blow up a few years back, right?
Exactly, and most side-by-sides, for example, are still belt-driven.
Yeah, this is an eCVT, which means it uses a planetary gear set and a set of electric motors to actually propel you down the road. And it's a much more reliable, robust system, but it still behaves like a conventional CVT, and that when you're accelerating hard, that engine's going to go right to its peak power and hold it there.
And the total horsepower is 191, so it doesn't sound like a lot, but like we already mentioned, it does tow pretty well. It has enough power for towing. It's just that sometimes if you want to zip around acceleration-wise, it's a little bit droney.
Yeah, especially if you're hauling people and things, you hear that engine really screaming, so that can be annoying.
But most importantly, the thing I dislike about the Maverick is that its price keeps creeping up.
Yeah, so Andre, we paid about $36,000 for this truck.
Yes.
Which, on the face of it, seems like quite a lot of money for a small vehicle with a cloth interior, right?
Yes.
But that's not the full story, because it's gotten even more expensive.
Yeah, so that was about 9 months ago. What happened recently, within the last month or so, the price came up about $1,500. So if you configure the same truck with the same color and equipment, the way you see it here, brand new, this would be about $38,000 now.
Whew, for an XLT.
Yes.
Right? This is not a Lariat or a Tremor or a Lobo. This is just an XLT hybrid all-wheel drive for $38,000. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. This thing's made in Mexico, right?
Exactly.
So largely, a good shot as part of that is because of tariffs.
And another reason could be that this is still very popular, right? There's not a lot of them available, so it could be its popularity. So we already just mentioned that we paid just over $36,000 for this.
Yeah.
But what about the sale price?
Well, we're selling it back to Brighton Ford for around $30,000.
Okay.
So it's cost us about $6,000. Of course, insurance and gas, and that's not factored in there.
Yeah.
But Andre, how long have we had this thing for?
Just about 9 months. We bought it in December of 2024. And by the way, if you are looking for a new Maverick, it will be at Brighton Ford, Colorado.
So you could a slightly used Maverick.
Slightly used Maverick. Like you mentioned, 8,200 miles-ish. And also, please don't call us a year from now asking us, to buy this Maverick because we won't have it.
No, I mean, this has been a really, really good little truck. It's been very nice to drive around town. It's been very useful for just doing shop errands around TFL's headquarters.
Yeah.
So as a whole, I've been very, very pleased with this truck, and it's really sad to see it go.
I know, and like we said, most of the people who work at TFL are also very sad and upset.
You got it. Well, head over to tfltruck.com, Andre, if you want more information.
Exactly.